Tonight at the back alley, CanAm Wrestling is back, and they got a steel cage match. Here to help us get ready for this one is the CEO of CanAm Wrestling, the Alberta Wrestling Academy, and the CanAm Cafe merchandise store. The CEO of all things CanAm Wrestling. He is Otto Gentile. Otto, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Peter.
Hey, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. So we'll get into the show tonight. It is, as I mentioned, a steel cage match. The Gods of Metal, who are Jordan Aries and Cody Mack, taking on the brand of Big Business Sydney Steel and headline Sean Martins. It sells itself for me, but for those who may not be aware, let's talk some people into the building. What can they expect with this one tonight?
What can they expect? Well, as anybody knows, going inside a steel cage, anything can happen. But the stipulation with this one is a little bit different because both partners have to escape through the door and both sets of feet have to touch the floor in order to win. So this could be a very devastating fact for either team because of one partner getting out of the cage and the other one being stuck in there 2-on-1.
Mm-hmm.
So possibilities are incredible. It's steel, ripping of flesh, bleeding. What can I tell you? You know, it hasn't happened in CanAm wrestling in over 20 years. So I'm looking to bring our history alive again.
Yeah, I think Jim Ross uses the line "flesh versus steel. Steel's undefeated." It's generally not a forgiving structure. So you said first steel cage match in CanAm wrestling in a very long time. So obviously something happened to necessitate this sort of a match.
Well, the last show that we had the Gods of Metal and the brand in a full metal mayhem match, which ended up with both teams winning because one referee counted the shoulders of the I think it was Sean Martins or Sydney Steel to the ground, and then it was the other way around on the other side. So there was one team that won on either side of the ring. So what could I do but hold up the belts and order this cage match where we do finally get to have a winner? It has to be decided tonight. There's no if, ands.
Nice. I'm very much looking forward to it. I want to get a little bit more into the Gods of Metal. When you talk to people around Calgary who are in the wrestling business, it doesn't take long for the name Jordan Aries to pop up. There's some people, it's like, hi, how are you? I'm good. Have you seen Jordan Aries recently? Like, people are really excited about this kid. Kind of explain what some of this hype is about with him.
Well, he's not a big man by any standards, but he is a high flyer that has no fear. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him climb to the top of the cage and fly off of it tonight. So the guy's an incredible athlete. I mean, all four guys in the ring tonight are going to be incredible to watch. Mm-hmm. But you have the brand that are two guys that are powerhouses. They're two veterans that are in this business for a very long time. Probably they have the more experience than the Gods of Metal do, due to the fact that they have been in this industry longer. So it's going to be cool to see whether or not the young guys can overtake the veterans tonight. And like I said to you, anything's possible. But like you said earlier, flesh versus steel. Steel is unbeaten. So I hope these guys are ready for this because it will change their lives forever.
Mm-hmm. And his partner Cody Mack, he's someone who I had on my radio show when I still had one here a couple of years ago, and just to see him progress over the last couple of years has been really fun. You with the Alberta Wrestling Academy, you see that type of progression all the time. What's it like as someone who has been that performer and has kind of had it click? What's it like now to see some pupils of yours kind of have that kind of oh heck moment for them?
It's Peter, it's incredible. I live vicariously through each and every one of our students that do this, and to see them improve over and over as we go here is just absolutely amazing. One of the guys that's improving incredibly is Davey Disaster. Like tonight, he has a title shot for the first time against the Cheetah Bear, our champion. Just to see Davey progress from where he was a year ago to where he is today is absolutely unbelievable. Rhino Reynolds, a powerhouse that we have, a guy that weighs 295 pounds, an ex-football player doing this now. And a lot of football players do have the success in this industry because of the way they played football on the gridiron, right? So to see Rhino improve every show that he goes out there and performs at is just phenomenal. Other kids that are going to be coming up soon tonight, another kid making a debut, Aaron Six, the runaway rebel, he calls himself. This guy's a bit of a twisted individual. I'm looking forward to it. Nasty Nate Nixon, another veteran making his debut tonight. The show's gonna be incredible. And we always have a surprise or two for the wrestling fans. We don't like to give it away, but tonight is going to be absolutely spectacular.
I'm certainly looking forward to it. I will be there with bells on for sure. You talk about having some of these people making their debuts and these performers coming up. As someone who, again, with the Alberta Wrestling Academy, excuse me, like obviously you want to get these guys working. That's how you improve. There's only so much training you can do and so much progressing you can do with that. You have to be out in front of that live audience. For putting on these shows, is it tough to balance like getting as many of these kids all this exposure as possible while also like getting these veterans on and putting on what's not just a wrestling school essentially for the paying customer? I personally, I would find that balance difficult to kind of walk. So how have you been able to manage that?
It is difficult, and you have to be really careful in judging if the kid's ready or not to be in front of a crowd, because you don't want to put him out there where, you know, he fails and then he's disappointed in himself, because that just sets him back, because all the training he has done, and then to go out there and we call it shit the bed, right? So hopefully as coaches, as mentors, we can see the strengths that they have. We can utilize them to their advantage in their character development. And when we do put them out there, most of the time these guys are very, very ready. I'm just happy that the kids that we have are hungry as they are, and they're killing it every night that they're out there. Another guy that, man, a year ago, he was sitting in the crowd watching. He was a fan. And I talked him into coming to train with us at the Alberta Wrestling Academy. And Mr. Tropical Paradise, Devin Veer, is absolutely killing it now in the ring. Tonight, he takes on a 30-year veteran in the All-American Steve Rivers with that snake of a manager, Abu Weasal. So I wish Devin all the best. And, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if the kid pulls one out. You never know what's going to happen, right? He's that good now that you never know what's going to happen when Mr. Tropical Paradise gets in the ring.
Going up against Steve Rivers, he's certainly going to have the crowd on his side tonight. That is not someone who warms up to an audience.
That's kind of Steve's fault, and who he's aligned himself with. You know, he's aligned himself with the Weasel as we knew him back in the Stampede days. So when you align yourself with trouble, there's only one thing that can come your way.
You are the company you keep. You mentioned the champion, Cheetah Bear. I will admit, when I first saw the whole presentation, I was like, Cheetah Bear, really? I kind of rolled my eyes. But now I would watch him. If he wrestled 18 times tonight, I would be enthralled the 18th time. Like, he just one of those dudes who just seems to have it. That's easy for me to say. I'm just the podcast guy. You've been there, you've done this, you've trained him. What do you see that kind of draws people in with Cheetah Bear?
Oh, he's just a crowd favorite. Everything he does is entertaining. He involves the crowd in his performance. His promos are, Jesus, man. I love the work he does on his promos. He's a very calculating individual that thinks about everything he does. He cares about the company, and having him represent us as the heavyweight champion is absolutely incredible.
I appreciate the promos, because when he's in there with Mark the Shark DiCarlo, it appears like Shark's going to pee himself every time. And I appreciate that greatly.
Yeah, I think Mark the Shark has to worry about a few of them making him do that.
Just a couple more with you here. This is obviously a very weird time in the world. And like there's changes to restrictions now in Alberta, but that's like the 18th time that's happened. You guys had the great idea of starting a promotion during a damn pandemic. So now with everything that's been changing, how difficult has it been to kind of manage that? And we talked about before about how important these live reps are. How difficult could it have been or would it have been for some of these young performers trying to get that experience, and it's just not there for reasons beyond their control?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, Peter. It's been incredibly hard to stay alive. There was a few times I thought we were going under, but thanks to the good people that surround us, like the Oxford House, which is a place for people getting treatment for drug addiction. It's a safe housing place for them. I'm very proud of that one due to the fact that I'm 18 years clean and sober myself, so I back them 110% in what they're doing. We have Bikers Are Buddies of Canada that we just partnered with, and 25 years ago, I was doing coping with bullying. Now I'm with a group that wants to stop it entirely, which is just absolutely amazing. And what we've gone through with this pandemic, and our youth coming up is actually more screwed up than ever. And they need that support. They need that help. And it's good to see that there is a guiding light in the Bikers Are Buddies Canada, and we couldn't be happier to be partnered with them in a great cause. As you know, we created a group with them called the AWA-BAB, which is Alberta Wrestling Academy Battling Against Bullying. And what we're going to try to do is get into every single community that we can to spread our message, give that community education, and give them the outreach that they need to support anyone that's getting bullied. Because it doesn't matter what age you are, bullying happens, it doesn't matter. So with that being said, I'm proud to be with them. I'm proud with the championship that they brought forth to us, the Bikers Are Buddies Championship, and it stands for something that is really cool, because the championship is anybody that has gone through their life where they have been bullied and overcome. And our first champion was crowned in Strathmore, Alberta, a couple weeks ago, and the Canadian Badass. And we all know that the Canadian Badass, man, he's 4'8", but let me tell you, he has the heart of a guy that's about 8 feet tall. And to see the look on his face when he won that battle royal that night, and the tears that were streaming down his face, you could tell that it meant something to him. And that championship means the world to him. And I believe he's going to be an incredible ambassador, not only for the Alberta Wrestling Academy, but for Bikers Are Buddies Canada as well. We're also partnered with another group, Lambert Manor, that man, these people care so much about people in helping raise food, hygiene products, whatever they can get their hands on to help all these people that are in recovery. So my hat goes off to Robert and Nancy at Lambert Manor as well. So just to be surrounded by all these people that seen us start this during the pandemic, and now we're finally starting to get the attention from the news outlets, radio outlets. It's really good to see. And as an owner of this company, it's a good feeling in my heart to do good for others. So I'm absolutely blessed. This pandemic was a crappy thing for all humanity, but to come out of it on the other side, to see the light now at the end of the tunnel is an incredible feeling. And we're only going to do more great things for all these communities that we go into.
Just a couple more here. I'd love to get into your career, but you have a steel cage match to put on, so we'll maybe put a bookmark on that one for another day. Well, what's the end goal here for CanAm Wrestling? I'm sure best case scenario, we're running shows in McMahon Stadium and 100,000 people are in there. But in the next 2-3 years, what's kind of the goal that you would like to see CanAm reach?
Well, 25 years ago, we were the only professional wrestling organization that was doing tours right across Canada, from the Queen Charlotte Islands out west to Hamilton, Ontario, out east, Northwest Territories up north, the Yukon, and past. So what I would like to see is get us back to that. We were doing 3 and 4 week tours where we would leave our families and go out and perform. This was our job. This is what we were doing. And we were primarily doing workshops for First Nation communities that were having a lot of problems with drugs and alcohol and the bullying. See, CanAm stands for something else. It means a lot to me because of being 18 years clean and sober. CanAm stands for Constantly Against Narcotic and Alcohol Misuse. So trying to get that education out there as well. It's just letting these kids know that there are choices in life that you have to make and try to make the right ones, because there's some that lead you down the path where you're going to be in a world that you don't want to be in.
Nice. I've loved the shows. I've been to more than I've missed so far. And to know now that there's an extra layer on top of it is really, really great. Otto, this was fantastic, man. Thanks for doing this. And one more time, if people want to check out the steel cage match tonight and everything that CanAm has to offer, how can they do that?
Tonight, we're at the Back Alley nightclub, which we have deemed the CanAm Arena. So come join us at the CanAm Arena. The doors open at 5:30. From 6 to 8, we have AEW Dynamite on all the screens with sound. And then at 8 o'clock, we take center stage. Tickets are online at canamwrestling.ca, or hey, give me a call at 403-369-3677. And I will take your orders over the phone and make sure that your tickets are waiting for you at the door.
Otto, thank you so much for this, man, and best of luck.
Thank you, Peter.